Good evening, Dylan. Many in the city of Steubenville still without water today. We are 7 days removed from freezing temperatures we saw last week, which definitely played a big part in losing water for not just parts of this city, but all across the Ohio Valley. But now we've got to fast forward 7 days later, and there are still people without a permanent water solution. The city has provided a temporary solution, and I'm going to step out of the way so we can show you one of them. That water truck back there in the parking lot of McKinley Elementary is where, as you can see, many are trying to get as much water as they can to last them for an unknown amount of time. There is still no telling as to when this is going to be fixed throughout the city. Now, I mentioned those locations where those water buffaloes are at. Here are where the other ones are. We start at Maryland Avenue's water tower site. We are currently at the Ross Park McKinley School parking lot. Then there's the Finley Church parking lot on Lincoln Avenue for Lincoln Heights. And then finally, the Brady Circle East Granard Parkway area near the Grass Traffic Islands. Earlier, we caught up with Steubenville City Manager Jim Mavromatis, and he spoke on how the city is working on one break at a time and how patience from everyone, including the residents, plays a crucial role in this situation.
A bigger problem, and I don't want to go there, we lose water in the whole city. I hope we never go there. I don't see that happening, but the bottom line is this is affecting one section of the, we don't have those choices. Now, right now we're hoping, we've had a lot, we've identified 3 breaks today already, and we have our crews out there looking throughout the city. This is why I asked our population, our citizens here, check yourselves, check your neighbors, and make sure there's no existing water coming out of the residences.
Now, coming up on News 9 at 6, Chloe Mesagaitis sat down with Jim Mavromatis more in depth, and she will have more coverage on this situation. But for now, reporting live in Steubenville, I'm at Diorio for News 9, live at 5. Good evening, Jamie and Dylan. When the Belmont County NAACP first got word of this situation back in September, they didn't want this to go further than 1 or 2 meetings with the St. Clairsville School Board, a request for termination, that be it. Well, fast forward to now, and that's not the case. Jerry Moore, the president of the NAACP of Belmont County, from his perspective and through his eyes, he has seen little disciplinary action against Justin Slutz, and now it may be time for him to take further action on his end.
First one was a freebie. It was a courtesy, and you didn't follow directions. You didn't follow instructions. Now I'm here on official NAACP business, and you still don't want to terminate this man from employment.
In a statement on Monday, Belmont County NAACP President Jerry Moore called once again for Slutz's firing, as well as change in St. Clairsville's policy, change in disciplinary procedure, and extensive cultural diversity, equality, and inclusion training. From the evidence he's collected, Moore claims the district isn't taking this as serious as he'd wanted.
Slutz had a all-staff meeting with his teachers and made a joke about him being a local celebrity based off of this racial slur, which lets me know that you're not taking what you said serious, how it offended these kids, how it offended these parents, how it offends this community. That lets us know that you're not taking it serious.
St. Clairsville-Richland City School District Superintendent Dr. Walter Skaggs issued a statement saying, quote, "The district continuously works to create an inclusive culture. The district has made clear that it does not condone the use of racial slurs. Regrettably, the information provided by the NAACP contains mischaracterizations and does not reflect the forward-looking dialogue between the two parties. Notably, after the incident, the district scheduled and completed cultural sensitivity training for all of its staff. Similarly, the district has planned student assemblies and other meaningful ways for students to discuss issues related to inclusion. The district will continue to reflect on this teachable moment and focus its efforts on ensuring that the community understands, learns, and grows moving forward."
To say that it's a misrepresentation is false. It's very sad. And this is another tactic that St. Clairsville is employing and uses to cover situations up, almost like the sexting scandal that they had a few years ago. This is not going to be covered up.
After hearing the district's statement, Moore plans on taking the situation to the state and national level.
So all we're saying is do the right thing. But now that we're involved, now I have to pass this information along to my superiors as to what is happening. So, it's just very sad, very, very sad.
This is, of course, a developing situation out of Belmont County, so we will continue to be in touch with the St. Clairsville-Richland City School District and the Belmont County NAACP for further details as they develop, and we will bring them to you. Reporting live in St. Clairsville, I'm at Diorio for News 9, live at 5. Near the Belmont County Courthouse at this three-way stop, what seemed to be just a hit and run turned out to have quite the backstory.
She just drove directly into my car and then paused for a second and then continued to drive all the way through my car.
Rebecca Mitchell was driving on Newell Avenue when a car struck and damaged her driver's side doors. Mitchell called 911 and continued to follow behind the vehicle until the chase ended near the Ohio State Highway Patrol posts in St. Clairsville. Mitchell was confused as to why the chase occurred in the first place.
She popped her head out of the car and she was like, "It was just an accident." And I said, "It doesn't matter. You still need to pull over."
When St. Clairsville Police Lieutenant TJ Stewart finally pulled the car over, both he and Mitchell realized something wasn't right.
When she got out of the car, she seemed very genuine, very confused. And so at that point, I was kind of struggling at the same time going, this woman doesn't seem evil.
She appeared to be an adult, and she claimed to be an adult, but something was a little bit off.
Once Stewart got the dazed driver in isolation at the Belmont County Jail, a discovery was made.
Later determined she was actually a 15-year-old girl that was endangered and missing out of Lucas County, Ohio.
The girl had never driven a car. She didn't have a license and was named missing on August 16th of this year out of Lucas County near Toledo. She was in St. Clairsville at the sentencing for a 57-year-old man who was indicted for having what he thought was underage relations.
We had prosecuted him for sharing images online to a person that he thought was an underage girl. As it turns out, it was law enforcement acting as an underage girl.
The 15-year-old was not involved in the case with the older man, but she did come to Belmont County with him.
And he brought her with him to the courthouse, basically disguised as an adult, and according to witnesses, they were romantically, engaged.
Once the court proceedings ended, the 15-year-old got in the car she didn't know how to drive, and the chase followed. With nobody hurt, Mitchell says she just wants the best for the girl.
I don't want to mess up people's lives. I want them to be better and to get the help that they need. And I just thought of her as one of those people that I don't know her situation. All I know is that she's someone who obviously right now is going through some things, and whatever needs to be done with her, that's what I want. I just want what's best for her.
The 15-year-old does face charges. However, none of them will be stemming from Rebecca Mitchell, as she hopes that the girl can be reunited with her family and continue to recover. Reporting in Belmont County, I'm at Diorio for News 9. Good evening, Dylan and Taylor. What you see behind me is the aftermath of heavy flames taking this home on Orchard Street in Steubenville. Heavy damage, leaving it inhabitable and hospitalizing 3 people, 1 adult, 2 children.
Our crews received a call about 11:45 this morning about a fire in a residential structure. Upon arrival, we had heavy fire and smoke coming from the rear of the building going up towards the 2nd floor.
Chief Capaldi confirming that approximately 13 people were inside the home when the fire first started, 3 of which were hospitalized, 1 adult and 2 children.
A number of people already were outside the house. Our crews made entry, and we ended up bringing 3 victims out of the house, who were then transported to the hospital.
As neighbors looked on, crews used water, axes, and chainsaws to break down the upper part of the structure. With broken shingles, walls, and windows, there's no word on what started the fire and if surrounding homes were damaged.
The fire's under investigation. We're going to have the state fire marshal come in since it was an occupied structure with multiple victims. So we're waiting for that investigator to get here.
Now, the fire was under control in about an hour. In speaking and checking back with Chief Capaldi, he does not know what started the fire or the condition of the 3 hospitalized victims at this time, so we will continue to work for those details in the days to come. But for now, reporting live in Steubenville, I'm at Diorio for News 9 at 6.